Hello again, everybody, and welcome once again to a Community Cable Network sports presentation. Tonight we come to you from Milton's Alumni High School field for the CCN Spotlight High School Football Game of the Week here in Week 9 of a 10-week high school football season. The Mifflinburg Wildcats come to Alumni Field with a 2-6 record. They're 0-4 in the large school division of the CSC. The Milton Black Panthers 5-3 overall. They are 3-1 in the CSC Big School Division, and they still entertain playoff hopes. Carl, do the Wildcats of Mifflinburg have a chance tonight to pull off the big?
They certainly have a chance. The Mifflinburg Wildcats always play the Milton Black Panthers very tough, and I think it's going to be a good game, but I don't think there's a chance for Mifflinburg to pull that upset. They are just 2-6, and they lost last week. Milton, on the other hand, had a scintillating win last week up at Jersey Shore. They're going to be ready, and they know what hangs in the balance, that playoff spot at the end of the year.
Carl, Milton definitely hurt by the absence of Jason Forsman, one of the leading receivers in this area. So really, I think tonight's game will come down to a rushing attack. Ryan Newhard back in the backfield for the Black Panthers. And, of course, Rothenfeld is an awfully good back.
Also last week, Mifflinburg found a passing attack with Tom Dorman. He started throwing the ball very well, and I know Jamie Sowers was just delighted with that. Don't sell Marshawn Mosley short, nor Justin Pauling. They're both good receivers also for Milton.
That's absolutely right. So the passing attack could come into play tonight, but you know, Carl, if it's a close game tonight, watch Ian Cuneo, the Mifflinburg place kicker. This kid is the all-time leading scorer for the Mifflinburg soccer team, a star in that sport outright, and he can kick the football.
He has a tremendous leg. We saw him against Warrior Run, and he did an outstanding job there. He is a good kicker. You're right. He can hit him from a long way off.
Okay, Carl, I really think this is going to be a great game. I've looked at years past before these teams started playing 10 years ago. Scores said, gee, these teams are going to be playing each other. Now they are. It's the 9th week of the season. I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So stay with us. Carl Bauer are going to be back for the opening kickoff here from Milton on the Community Cable Network. You don't want to miss it.
Hello, I'm Tom Klein. Most people call me Tom Klein. I'm going to buy from Hawkins Chevrolet Geo Oldsmobile. You buy anywhere else, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's not true when you purchase a used car, truck, or van here at Hawkins. They always have a great selection with fantastic prices. You know, Mama said if you treat them right, they'll always come back. That's what they do at Hawkins Chevrolet Geo Oldsmobile in Danville.
Looking for something new to spice up your home entertainment system? Visit Lamprinos in Route 45, Lewisburg. You could be watching your favorite programs on this JVC ultra-wide 55-inch television, or let us create your very own home theater room. Enjoy up to 150 channels of crystal clear entertainment with the all-digital 18-inch satellite system. Capture all your favorite memories with this 20-power zoom camcorder with image stabilizer. Lamprinos has everything you need to add some excitement to your home entertainment system.
Hi, I'm Paula Poundstone for Comic Relief. In a perfect world, we'd all have a roof over our heads, plenty of food, clothing, and health care. The reality is that millions of Americans don't have what most of us take for granted. One way you can help is to be a part of Comic Relief, providing health care to millions of homeless Americans. Comic Relief 7 happens live from the Universal Amphitheater on November 11th, only on HBO. Join us as we bring down the house to help the homeless. Comic Relief, where there's laughter, there's hope.
Looking for that perfect lighting fixture? Come to Denny Electric Supply of Danville, where we have one of the largest selections of table lamps and hanging lights in the area. We offer a wide selection of Hunter and Quorum ceiling fans and lights. Browse through our showroom and find the ideal lighting for your new construction or your renovation project. From chandelier to Tiffany's, we have it all at Denny Electric Supply of Danville, where you'll always get fast, friendly service for all your electrical needs.
Well, there you see the captains on the field for the opening coin toss of tonight's football game. I'm Jim Pangburn. Partner is Carl Bauer. And we are set for what should be a hard-hitting football game tonight. What probably be an interesting one, Carl.
Should be a very interesting one because of what is at stake for the Milton Black Panthers. Sometimes when you know that it's do or die, that big apple comes up in your throat, and it's real tough to get yourself ready to go. But if last season was any indication of the Milton Black Panthers, they'll be there when the chips are counted.
Well, they have to be, Carl, as you said. They've got a game next week against Montoursville. I believe that's here. And they still think they can, you know, they're still in the big schools CSC, Central Susquehanna Conference picture, but they're looking at playoff opportunities, and 7-3 might be good enough to get them in. It was last year.
If they win tonight, they're into the playoffs somewhere. That possibility of where is the problem. They could be in the district playoffs, which they don't really want, because you cannot win a state championship. I'm sorry, the Eastern Conference playoffs. You cannot win a state championship from the Eastern Conference playoffs. They would much sooner be into the district playoffs, and that could ultimately lead to the state championship. Probably much more a coach's dream than a player's dream.
Right. Carl, they just had the decision. Mifflinburg won the toss, deferred. Milton decided to receive. So Mifflinburg will be defending the south goal and will kick off. And our officials tonight from the Wyoming Valley Conference, from Wilkes-Barre, the referee tonight, Yogi Michaels. Yes, he is the wrestling official. From Plymouth, the umpire, John Rockich. From Hanover, Frank Matthews. He is the linesman tonight. Also from Hanover, Henry Moriarty. He is the line judge this evening. And from Kingston, Roy Lease, the back judge. They tried to tell me originally, Carl, that he was from Bosnia-Herzegovina, and I wasn't so sure about that.
I don't think I'd buy that.
They admitted then that he was from Kingston, which is a far cry from Bosnia.
Jim, we mentioned number 3, Ian Cuneo, in our pregame. He is going to kick off. You will see what a great leg this kid has. He is quite a kicker. He's capable of hitting a field goal from all over the field also, and that will be something that I'm sure Dave Fortunato will consider to be sure that the defense keeps them as far away as possible from the goal line.
Carl, we should mention there's a strong wind tonight. It's at the back of the Wildcats, who are kicking off in the white uniforms to our right. And I just saw a high school game that definitely indicated the wind is a factor. We'll be taking it about the 15-yard line. And that looks like Newhart.
That's who it is, number 45, Ian Newhart.
And he is open on the left sideline, and how about that electrifying start to the game? He gets into Mifflinburg territory, and that's where they'll start with great field position. 1st and 10, Black Panthers.
Kyle Whitaker, number 82 from Mifflinburg, brought down Ryan Newhart. Newhart found a crack over there. He had some good blocking ahead of him, and he went for a very nice opening kickoff to the 45-yard line, and I believe we have a penalty as well.
Could this be a personal foul after the tackle? It's going to add 15 yards. That's it.
Face mask, face mask.
15 yards, Carl.
Take face mask on the tackle, Jim.
It's a 15-yarder to the 30-yard line. Carl, you got to be pretty happy if you're Dave Fortunato and your first snap of the night comes from your opponent's 30-yard line.
Good. Great field position, especially when you consider the wind is in Milton's face.
Craig Ulrich, the quarterback, the freshman, throws on 1st down. Nearly caught, incomplete, drop there by number 84, Marshawn Mosley.
Mosley slipped a little bit. He was making an out pattern, and he slipped as he made his cut. The starting offense for the Milton Black Panthers. The tackles are David Kurtz, number 75, Philip Hagenstaller, number 70. The guards, Nate Snyder, 79. And Robert Miller, 52. The center is Jason Bankert. The tight end, B.J. Robinault, number 34. We'll be seeing some action from him from that tight end position before this game is over. I guarantee you that.
Jeremy Snyder split wide to the right. James Snyder to the left. They give us up the middle to Ryan Newhart. He gets to the 25-yard line. Check that. Back to the 30.
The other starters, the backs for the Milton Black Panthers. Number 16, Craig Ulrich, is the quarterback. Tailback Batman, number 22. The fullback, Luke Murray, is number 31. Justin Pauling is the split end, number 14. And the flanker, Marshawn Mosley, 84. You saw Mosley on the previous play. Not Batman. Batman isn't starting. Newhart is starting instead.
3rd down and 10 from about the 30-yard line. In motion, number 99. We do not have that. That's Chris Snyder, I believe. Here is the pass for James Snyder. It's going to be picked off at the 10-yard line by number 16, Tom Dorman, the quarterback, who on defense is playing at safety.
That was not a particularly good pass. I see we have a penalty flag on the play. That was not a particularly good pass. it wasn't thrown far enough, for one thing. Pauling never really had a chance as it was behind him.
Carl, I just saw there's a holding call against Milton that will be declined, so Mifflinburg will have the ball, and check the yard line. It'll be about the 15, maybe the 14. But when you try to pass against this wind tonight, the ball will tend to stay up. It'll be like that wobbly duck type of thing. And I saw a lot of interceptions between Danville and Lewisburg tonight. You want to keep the passes short when you're moving against that wind.
Being philosophical, this is much better than a punt because the Mifflinburg Wildcats are backed up very deep in their own territory, but they do have the wind at their back.
And they do have the ball. And it's Tom Dorman. He gets straight up the middle this time. The man comes out of the pile, and I believe it is Rothermel, and he will get just about 2 yards. Check the identification. It is number 39 for Mifflinburg, and that is Rusty Walls.
He just popped out of there. Apparently not a very good tackle on the first collision that happened at the line of scrimmage, because he popped out of there and picked up some additional yardage.
Pickup of 6 yards, 2nd down and 4.
It's interesting that both teams are jamming the line of scrimmage. They have a lot of defensive players on the line of scrimmage to try to stop the run first.
That's Rothermel in motion, I believe. Walls, the tailback, and he'll be smothered in the backfield for a loss. Carl, a huge play for Mifflinburg coming up with that interception after giving up the poor field position to start the game.
Well, it's certainly, when you get that kind of field position, you expect to do something offensively to put the points on the board. You remember that it was a good run back by Newhard, in addition to the penalty for the face mask as he was being tackled. So Milton had a great opportunity there and was not able to cash in.
Here's a big play for Mifflinburg at 3rd down and 6 from just about their own 20-yard line. Dorman looking throw into the sideline, and it's picked off at the sideline by 31, Luke Murray.
He just played that perfectly, had a great break on the ball, flew through the air, dived through the air, and picked up that interception. Great work by Luke Murray, number 31.
And Milton will have excellent field position for the 2nd straight time tonight at the Mifflinburg 23-yard line. Carly cut right in front of the intended receiver, number 12, Justin Sowers, the son of the Mifflinburg head coach.
Sowers didn't come back for the ball that time. He probably should have, and it would have cut down the angle for Murray. But Murray was right there, did a great job for the interception.
Well, we're on 1st down. It's Newhard. Up the middle, gets good yardage across the 20 to about the 16.
Brad Gilbert on the tackle. Gilbert also is the tight end for the Mifflinburg Wildcats, number 2. Newhard is replaced now by number 34, B.J. Robinall.
It's so important, Carl, for a team to get on the board when they're going against the wind and establish a lead and actually take advantage when they have the disadvantage of going against the wind.
It's very good also to be on the board first. That really is critical.
Absolutely.
At any level, at any level.
This time they give it to B.J. Robinall.
Number 33 on that tackle is Doug Rothermel. I expected Jim to see him carrying the ball for Mifflinburg the bulk of the time. He has yet to see it offensively.
And Doug with about 528 yards, I believe. Check that, 578 yards. Carl, 9th week of the season, and Doug only has 3 rushing touchdowns, and I think that's a surprise for a lot of people.
The problem with Mifflinburg this year is they're playing in the large school division, number 1. Number 2, they have to rely so much on the running game because their passing attack until last week really showed very little signs of doing anything.
Robinall to the 10.
And that's why Rothermel has not gained a lot of yardage this year.
That's a 1st down for the Black Panthers. They are rolling.
Having the ability to get that first touchdown is a very big thing at any level, pros, college, high school. If you can score first, it just gives your offensive team and your whole football team a tremendous lift.
Really sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Right. That's right.
Here we go, 1st and 10 now from about the 10. And Milton can get a 1st down without scoring.
No blockers in front of Newhard in the backfield, but he has a blocker there at the end.
And Newhard will get down to about the 7-yard line.
Tackle by number 16, Tom Dorman. If Dorman is going to be doing a lot of tackling, I wonder how much passing he's going to be able to do when he has the offensive end of the football.
And as our colleague Bob Hickox is always quick to point out, when your safety's coming up and making the tackle, it's not a good sign.
No, it isn't. That means somebody up front has not done something to make that tackle first. Again, you see the strange look in the backfield. There are no blockers there for the back.
Luke Murray, the single back. And Justin Pauling wide left. It'll go to Murray. He'll get down to about the 5-yard line, short of a first down by about 4 yards.
Number 54 in that tackle, Matt Grease, the defensive tackle from Mifflinburg.
And it'll be 3rd down and goal from about the, well, looks more like the 6, Carl.
Ryan Newhart back in there, number 45 for the Milton Black Panthers. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see him taking the football on this drive.
James Snyder wide right, Pauling wide left. This time the single back is Newhart. Well, count by Yorick. Good hold on the left tackle, and then it closes down around the 3-yard line.
Number 39 on that tackle is Rusty Walls, but Newhart slipped as he was making his cut.
Carl, that is a big defensive play by the Wildcats. They brought up 4th down now. Actually, a loss. I was incorrect on the identification. It is at the 7-yard line. A loss of about 2, and Milton will go for it. No, they are going to line up to kick the field goal. The holder will be Pauling, and the place attempt will be by number 25, Jason Hawes. And believe me, he can kick the ball well, but he is kicking against the wind. And it tails off to the left. It is wide, no good. And Mifflinburg has dodged its 2nd bullet tonight and will take over at its own 20-yard line with 5:17 to go in the first quarter.
Not a real good sign for Milton. They need to put some points on the board. They've had some great opportunities, and they have not been able to capitalize on them.
Carl, the sad thing about that field goal is look at the flag behind the goalpost. I don't know where we can get a look at that, but it is limp. The wind actually died for that field goal attempt, and Milton could not take advantage.
Justin Pauling, the holder, thought the kick was good. The referees did not agree with him, and they're the ones who make the decision, so that's what counts. 0-0 our score.
There's a good look at
the flag.
Rick Podlesny giving us that shot, and there's the run. And getting away to the outside is Mifflinburg running back, number 33, Doug Rothermill, the man we talked about.
Rothermill has been a good back since his sophomore year, and we alluded to him before. The reason why he has not been getting the big numbers this year is that Mifflinburg has had to rely so much on their running game.
Rothermill is an all-conference returning first-team CSC linebacker. Jamie Sowers told me earlier this year, he said if he were a little bigger, Joe Paterno would be down here looking at him. This time, the short gain, ball carried.
Number 12 on that carry is Justin Sowers.
And he'll get short yardage, call it about 2 yards, call it 1.
Yeah, let's not be too generous there. It looks more like 1.
And he'll be out to the 32-yard line. 2nd and 9.
And we have stoppage of action here by the referees. Apparently there's been some sort of problem on the line of scrimmage.
It's an offside call against Mifflinburg. They lined up illegally. 4:20 to go, first period, no score. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 2nd down now and 14 from the 27-yard line of Mifflinburg.
As our cameras pan the field from time to time, you'll see signs and other accoutrements of the Milton homecoming. Tonight is the homecoming game for the Milton Black Panthers, so they have some added incentive here to look good in front of the alumni.
This time the pitch straight ahead and getting out to about the 35-yard line.
Ball carried by Rusty
Walls, the ball carrier.
Number 89, Jeremy Snyder on that tackle.
Carl's going to be about 3rd down and 7, and this is a big, well, the scoreboard says 6. Trust me, it's more like 7. And this is going to be a key play for Mifflinburg. You got to feel good if you're Jamie Sowers. You could be down easily 14-0.
You better believe it. The Mifflinburg team has been very lucky to not have any points scored against them at this juncture in the ballgame.
And there's the give to Rothermill on the right side. And he will get good yardage. Carl, he's got the first down yardage.
He is very explosive going around that right end. We've seen him do that several times already. Number 33, there he is. Good-sized kid. Nice speed, number 33, Doug Rothermill.
Jason George, Rick Podlesny, And Larry Zapataki directing the show tonight for the Community Cable Network. Here's a good look at Doug. And he's a pretty big fella there, Carl. He's 5'10", but 190 pounds.
Good size for running back in high school.
And the misdirection play, straight up the middle. He gets into Milton territory at the 45-yard line, short of a first down by about a yard.
If you can get the defense moving in the opposite direction from number 33, Doug Rothermel, and he's able to bust through there, he's going to pick up some big yardage.
Carl, I can detect a slight shift of momentum in this football game.
Well, remember that Mifflinburg is operating with the wind at their backs. Milton had the wind in their faces, and it showed during those first two series on offense for Milton.
Rothermel, the halfback, gets across the 45. He's going to be close to a first down. The Wildcats are trying to break a 4-game losing streak. Carl, they haven't won since they beat Central Columbia 34-0 by, 5 weeks ago.
Mifflinburg has always played Milton very well, and tonight is no exception. They're taking it to them right at the moment.
Ball spotted at the 38-yard line of the Black Panthers, 3rd and 1. It's going to be a third down play. Dorman for Mifflinburg.
Sort of a wishbone look for Mifflinburg, but those are not wishbone plays.
Rothermel will get the first down for the Wildcats, shy of the 35-yard line, and Mifflinburg is moving the ball. They're moving the clock. 1:42 to go. The clock stops temporarily.
The additional backs in that backfield are blocking for whoever is carrying the football. If this were a wishbone attack, the quarterback would be riding the fullback into the hole and using the option. These are not wishbone plays, even though it looks like a wishbone setup for Mifflinburg. They're set up again. You notice that the fullback in the middle, up closer to the quarterback.
Jamie Sowers coming our way. The give is to Rusty Walls, and he's slowed down at the line of scrimmage. Good initial hit by James Snyder, number 12, coming out of the Milton defensive backfield to make the initial hit.
But there again, you notice that James Snyder did not wrap his arms. If you're going to make a good tackle, you need to wrap those arms, because somebody who is hit and hit hard but not knocked down because you haven't wrapped your arms feels like he's Superman.
It's interesting that you make that point, because that's what Dave Fortunato has been saying has been the problem with his defense all year long. 2nd and 7 now from the 32. This time to give to Rothermel up the middle. He bulls close to the 25 and close to the first down marker.
Number 14 coming, just knifing through there, is Justin Pauling. He had a good shot at Rothermel, was able to slow him down somewhat.
Carl, you mentioned how Mifflinburg has played Milton tough. Mifflinburg has won this meeting 3 of the last 5 times. But since the series was resumed in 1985, Milton has won 7 of the last 11. The series started in 1927, and Milton leads it 11-4.
You notice how the Milton Black Panthers are jamming the line of scrimmage with their defense.
Rothermel tripped up. Saving tackle by number 14, Pauling. And that will conclude quarter number 1. We'll switch ends with Mifflinburg having the ball deep in Milton territory and the wind in their back claw. Here at the end of the first quarter, no score.
This part of tonight's presentation is being brought to you by Associated Insurance Management, our independent insurance agents representing more than one insurance company. An independent agent can offer you a wide variety of insurance products, help you shop around for the best policy to meet your needs. So come visit us at Associated Insurance Management at 1402 Bloom Road in Danville.
Sure, our name is Fireman Home Oil Company. But if you think that delivering heating oil is all we do, take a closer look. There's the 24-hour convenience of our automated fueling network for your car or truck. Our certified technicians bring comfort into your home with heating and air conditioning systems, humidifiers, and water conditioners. We offer innovative new ways to get more for your home heating dollar. Fireman Home, we're the total energy company.
Visit Route 15 Flea Market Center in Lewisburg, where you'll always receive a warm welcome. Imagine acres packed with row upon row of mini stores selling bargain-priced items. Or imagine hundreds of garage sales side by side where you can buy hidden treasures with pocket change. We're open every Sunday starting at 8 a.m., rain or shine, with free admission along with free parking. We're not just a flea market, we're just like a shopping mall. Route 15 Flea Market and Farmers Market, located 2 miles north of Lewisburg on Route 15.
Hi, I'm Paula Poundstone for Comic Relief. In a perfect world, we'd all have a roof over our heads, plenty of food, clothing, and health care. The reality is that millions of Americans don't have what most of us take for granted. One way you can help is to be a part of Comic Relief, providing health care to millions of homeless Americans. Comic Relief 7 happens live from the Universal Amphitheater on November 11th, only on HBO. Join us as we bring down the house to help the homeless. Comic Relief, where there's laughter, there's hope.
And behind those Milton helmets there is Black Panthers head coach Dave Fortunato, and he is talking to his defense here as we're about to begin quarter number 2 from Alumni Field at Milton High School. The Mifflinburg Wildcats have dodged 2 bullets. Milton starting at the 30-yard line, near the 30, twice in their first 2 possessions, coming away with no points. And now it's the Wildcats, Carl, who have the ball in great field position at the 15-yard line of Milton.
But again, the wind is in their face. We'll see how they react to it now to see if they do better than the Milton Black Panthers did. The two times that Milton had advantage.
You think Ian Cuneo is over on the Mifflinburg sideline licking his chops thinking, hey, I want a shot at that field goal?
I'm sure he's hoping for something like that, but he would rather kick an extra point than a field goal any day.
Now he's got, that's right, but he's got the wind against him. It kicks up again. You're right. Actually, they're going against the wind now.
Wide splits in that backfield for Mifflinburg.
Double tight ends, no wide receivers. The pitch goes to Rothermel, tries to get to the sideline, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 10. Carl, I think he got about 5.
James Snyder, number 12, knocks him out of bounds.
That's Max Schneider. That is Max Schneider. I believe he used to be an assistant here. He is a big part of the Milton Little League system. Yes, that's right, the Milton Little League system. He's the coach of the senior girls here. He's had a lot of connections, Carl, to Milton as well as Montgomery, where he used to coach football.
He graduated from Montgomery back in 1973. Montgomery had a tremendous football team that year, and he was a big part of it. He played the middle linebacker on defense, and I think he was a tackle on offense. Second and 6 from the 11. It's Rothermel, cut back to the 2 and brought down there shy of the goal line. Justin Pauling on a touchdown saving tackle. It'll be first and goal for the Wildcats. Now, Mifflinburg is not having the trouble in the wind that Milton had because Mifflinburg is not throwing the football. They're running it. Milton tried to throw it, and you saw the result. That interception snuffed out one of their drives. They're just not able to pass in this wind.
And it's so important, Carl, it's exactly right, to be able to run against the wind so you don't have to pass the ball against it. And we're going to have a timeout. It's going to go against Mifflinburg with 11:29 to go in the first half. And, Carl, you got to wonder a little bit about what this timeout's about. Coach Sowers comes on the field, and he brings a player with him, number 34, excuse me. That's Mike Sowers, a flanker. So you think maybe Jamie is thinking possibly about taking a crack at a pass on first and goal from the 2?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just reminding his kids that Milton tried to score here and couldn't, so they need the Mifflinburg team needs to take care of that football.
Well, you bring a flanker in, and that forces the defense maybe to spread out a little bit. You take one extra defensive player, you move him away from the play. It's one less guy that can make the tackle when the run goes up the middle.
Well, with jamming the line of scrimmage, as Milton does to try to stop the runs of Walls and Rothermel, if the running back is able to pop through there, he is going to get tremendous yardage, as you saw Rothermel break loose a couple of times, because there's nobody else there. The linebackers are up on the line of scrimmage, the linemen are on the line of scrimmage, and we've seen the cornerbacks and the safeties making some tackles. That's not a good sign, as we've already told you before. We alluded to that before.
So in the Milton backfield now is check that, number 34, Mike Sowers, and Rothermel. He's on the left, Rothermel on the left, and also number 42, Luke. And we go to Rothermel, and he'll be stopped. Oh, what a great pursuit and concentration by Milton. And you're pointing to number 24, Carl.
At the lead there, Jed Myers. Great stop.
That's a name I have not heard this year, Carl.
But Jed Myers has played some football for Milton. He is a transfer from Warrior Run.
Carl, that last play I started to identify number 42, the up back for Mifflinburg. That's Luke Solomonson. He is a transfer this year from Wisconsin. The state, not the university. Here we go. Second down and goal now from the 1. And keeping it is Norman. He's going to roll to the left. He's got a block. Cuts back, and Carl, did he get in? Yes! Touchdown, Wildcats. Carl, would you have guessed that Mifflinburg would have scored first tonight? You talked about how important it was to get on the board first.
With the opportunities that Milton had, not being able to score, and now in the very same end of the football field, Mifflinburg does score. That's not real good for the psychology of your football team if you're Milton, that's for sure.
Well, Carl, you said you didn't think that Mifflinburg could pull off that upset tonight. You're starting to change your mind maybe a little bit?
No, I'm staying with the Milton Black Panthers. They're going to pull it out.
Well, you're going to get a chance to see in Cuneo here as number 2. Brad Gilbert has the hold. We've seen Hawes miss from about this distance on a field goal attempt, and look at that ball. It went, oh my gosh, it went over the scoreboard.
He has a tremendous leg. Ian Cuneo is a good athlete.
It did not go over the scoreboard. It went to the left a bit, but I tell you what, it probably would have hit the alumni field section, the sign on top of the scoreboard, Carl. That thing is probably bouncing right now somewhere on the way to Montana. And incidentally, it was good.
I'm watching Justin Pauling come off here. He's rubbing his neck. He must have one of those burners that you get when you get your shoulder jammed, and the burn goes down through your neck and into your shoulder. It looks to me as if he has that problem, but the way he's been hitting out here, it doesn't surprise me a bit.
And you know, Carl, normally they place the ball back. There's Cuneo. They place the ball back 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. That time, Mifflinburg placed it back 8. They think, hey, this kid's going to kick, why not put it back an extra yard and be safe? With Cuneo, it's not going to make a difference. And Carl, you got to figure, if he'd kicked that as a field goal, that would have been good from at least 45, don't you think?
He's a very good kicker, no question about it. If, as you said before, if it comes down to a situation where Mifflinburg needs to kick a field goal to win this game, you have to put some big bucks on number 3 for Mifflinburg in white.
Isn't it interesting that he wears the number 3?
Yeah, that is. That's very interesting.
I don't think it's a coincidence. Taking it at the 8-yard line is Newhart. You saw what he did earlier on the kickoff return, and he does it again. He's out to the 40 and brought down from behind at the 45. And I think Dave Fortunato is glad to have Ryan Newhart back.
Very shifty run. Nice job, Ryan Newhart. Tackled by number 65, Kevin Diggin. But not before a great return too near the midfield stripe.
5'10", 155 pounds, and I wouldn't have guessed that Ryan Newhart was 155. He seems much bigger than that.
Don't you know that football coaches are notorious for putting inflated weights in?
Inflated? I think that's low. I thought he might be heavier than that.
No, I don't think so. If he goes 150 pounds, he must have a lot of lead in his socks.
Well, field position, once again, this is the 3rd time Milton's taken the ball in the worst field position they've had all night. They're at their own 47.
But they have the wind at their backs.
Newhart, short gain, great tackle in there by Mifflinburg, 13 and 42. That's Kurt Wirt and Luke Solomonson.
Ryan Newhart freshly back from an injury, so he's being used a little bit sparingly by Dave Fortunato. He doesn't want him to get hurt again. Number 31, Luke Murray, comes in to replace him.
Carl, how many seasons have you seen Mifflinburg have a sub-500 season and pull off a big upset? Remember last year when they beat Chickalini?
They have sort of have that history, but that's why you play the games, because of the possibility of upset. 2nd and 9. It goes to Luke Murray.
Luke Murray. You know, every time I see that 31, I want to call Lance Yoakum. Lance Yoakum used to play here, and I keep saying it. The same thing with number 90, Chris Snyder. You know, I would have figured 90 would have been retired, and I'm ready to call Mike Berge. And look at Chris Snyder. He's almost as big as Berge over there on the sideline. He's 6'3", 195 pounds.
Mike Berge now at the University of Delaware and doing very, very well. He's playing behind an All-American, so any playing time that he gets is hard-earned, and he's getting his time.
Probably saw some time last week against James Madison, that 48-19 win.
Penalty flags all over the place. It looks to me like it's illegal motion against the Black Panthers.
Procedure is the call, 5 yards. Set the ball back at about the 43-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 14.
You saw number 16, Craig Ulrich, start backpedaling before he had the football, and that will bring the defense off the mark because they're looking for any motion. That's why the referees stopped the play and called the penalty against the Milton Black Panthers.
Looking for the pass here. Only one wide receiver on the far side. It's Mosley. He looks to the left. And coming out of the backfield complete to B.J. Rovenal. It's going to be well short of a first down and short of the original line of scrimmage. And I did not see James Snyder lined up on this side, Carl.
B.J. Rovenal is a big kid. 5'11", 195. I think he's probably over 200. That weight might not be accurate on the light end.
Of course, at this time in the year, you wonder if they've lost some weight. 89 set the punt. That's Jeremy Snyder. He is a senior. And deep for the Black Panthers. Well, you got to figure Rothermel's back there. And Snyder gets it off. And taking it at about the 12-yard line and losing it is 13, Kurt Wirt. And he'll finally run it down, but it'll be down at about the 9-yard line, Carl. And field position has been the story tonight.
Number 13, Kurt Wirt, is going to be chewed out by his coach, I'll bet. He should have picked up that ball and gone with it. He would have given his team, Mifflinburg Wildcats, a better opportunity, that's for sure. He let it go, it bounced a few more yards back, and now Mifflinburg starts in the unenviable position of behind their own 10-yard line.
And the thing here I think you're most concerned about, aside from getting the first down, is simply hold on to the football.
I talked before about jamming the line of scrimmage. Look how many Milton Black Panthers are up there within a couple of yards of the football.
Dorman has it back, and look at that, Carl. On the first play, we nearly had a turnover.
There again, if you're a football coach, if you're a Jamie Sowers, you're not real happy with what happened on that punt. Disasters like that can just turn your hair real gray.
Well, the fumble will cost Mifflinburg a down. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now from the 10. And the defense, as you said, Carl, really concentrating toward the middle of the field, expecting it to go to Rothermel.
Milton has just one linebacker away from the line of scrimmage.
Dorman throws complete. No, incomplete now to Sowers. Thought he had it, Carl. The pass was there.
He had the pass, but when he hit the ground, it just went out of his hands. He was not able to hold on to it.
Ground tends to get a little bit harder as the season goes on.
Yeah. We've had a great fall, though. We haven't had bad weather any game, with the exception of last week when it rained, but it wasn't cold.
No.
We're just now beginning to get some of this chilly fall weather that we expected a couple of weeks ago.
And it could be very hard field conditions, except for the fact that we've had about almost 10 inches of rain in this month alone. Really softened it up a little bit.
Wide receivers trips all the way out here to the offensive right for Mifflinburg.
And they're stacked, Carl. How often do you see this? On
it's
3rd
a running
down.
play anyway.
Oh, my. It's basically to deceive the defense for the running play. But that's interesting.
It was to take 3 defensive players out of the way of the runners for Mifflinburg, to take them to guard against the receivers for Mifflinburg, take Milton players out there. And it turned into a running play by Rothermel anyway.
Problem is it took 3 Mifflinburg blockers out of the play.
Well, good
potentially.
point. Good point.
Of course, they're wide receivers, but still. Here's the 4th down punt, punting from his own end line. It's blocked! It's blocked by number 52, and 34 now for Mifflinburg picks it up. And let's get that ID. It's 34, Mike Sowers, blocked by, did I say 51? Jeff Winders, 51 with the block for Mifflinburg?
No.
Or for Milton, excuse me.
Now, here's what would have happened. If the Mifflinburg player running with the football, number 34, had gained a first down, it would have been Mifflinburg's ball, 1st and 10. He had to get the first down, though, with that blocked punt. Fortunately for Milton, he was not able to do it because there were a great many defensive players there for Milton to knock him out of bounds. But that's what happens on a play like that.
Well, the tide shifts with a big play. Milton has it 1st and 10 from the Mifflinburg 11.
You think Old Mo is wearing black now, Jim?
It could be. And it gives us up the middle. And it's number 31 is not Lance Yoakum, it's Luke Murray. I'll try to get that straight here in the 9th week of the season. 6:05 to go. Well, they're not in the end zone yet, Carl. Mifflinburg holds a 7-0 lead, but they are certainly threatening at the 5-yard line.
This is definitely a critical scoring situation. Milton must put the football into the end zone right now.
And Carl, one of the advantages they have is they can get down to the 1 and get a first down. It's 2nd and 4 from the 5. B.J. Robinault blasts through to about the 3, short of the first down. Will be about 2nd and 1.
Tripped up as he crossed the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure who that was. Rothermo gets credit for the tackle, but I don't believe he's the one that actually knocked Robinault down.
Correction, it is 3rd down and 1. Big play here, Carl. Very big play.
Very big play is right.
With 5:12 to go in the first half, Milton trails 7-0. Knocking on the door. They give Robinault nearly stripped, and he's in the end zone. And Carl, I wonder whether the Mifflinburg players should have been concentrating on the hit and the tackle rather than the strip there.
That's a good point, because you noticed Robinault just about lost possession of that football as he was going through the line of scrimmage. If the Mifflinburg player had stood up and filled the hole instead of trying to get that football, he would have had a better chance to stop him, that's for sure.
Perhaps.
But then B.J. Robinault's a big kid, too.
That's true. It usually takes more than one guy to make that play. And it is 7-6 now in favor of Mifflinburg, and the extra point attempt by Jason Hawes.
Ryan Pauling, number 14. Justin Pauling, excuse me. Justin Pauling holding.
And the kick is low. The kick is no good. Carl, it must have been wide to the left. It looked like it was good. It was just high enough, and we got a 1-point game.
Number 13 from Mifflinburg, Kurt Work, came streaking in there, and it was almost too quick on the kick. Jason Hawes rushed it a little bit, I think. That's what caused the problem.
Well, we'll take a break here with from all this excitement. 7-6, Mifflinburg. We're going to have a message and be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula Poundstone for Comic Relief. In a perfect world, we'd all have a roof over our heads, plenty of food, clothing, and health care. The reality is that millions of Americans don't have what most of us take for granted. One way you can help is to be a part of Comic Relief, providing health care to millions of homeless Americans. Comic Relief 7 happens live from the Universal Amphitheater on November 11th, only on HBO. Join us as we bring down the house to help the homeless. Comic Relief, where there's laughter, there's hope.
CATV Service is proud to place the world at your fingertips since 1953. Serving the areas of Danville, Lewisburg, Milton, and Watsontown, CATV is committed to giving the very best in customer service. Our technicians and installers are dedicated to making the quality of your picture crystal clear. CATV plays an integral part in the public relations effort, televising a multitude of community events through our community cable network. CATV Service, placing the world at your fingertips.
And the Milton cheerleaders have something to celebrate as B.J. Robinault blasts 3 yards for a Milton touchdown. Unfortunately, Jason Hawes' extra point attempt was no good, and we are left with a 7-6 ball game in favor of the visiting Wildcats of Mifflinburg with 5:01 to go in the first half.
I think there's going to be a lot more scoring in this game, but that was an important miss, that's for sure.
Robinault from his 14 to 25.
Rothermel, that's Rothermel.
What did I say, Robinault?
Yes.
Excuse me.
33, Doug Rothermel. I noticed as when we were taking our break that the Milton coaches were questioning the referees on where that kick was. Apparently, on both kicks, the Milton kids thought that they had the points because the kick would have been good. In both instances, the referees called the kicks no good, and the Milton coaches were asking just what's happening there, where are we missing?
Well, Hawes' field goal was clearly wide left on the earlier attempt. Now, that extra point looked good, though, Carl, from where we are, which is not the best location.
Rothermel.
And he blasts across the 30 to the 35, first down yardage.
Tackle by B.J. Robinault, number 34.
4 minutes, 20 seconds, clock running.
That looked like it might have been a fumble, but Rothermel was clearly on the ground. In fact, he was on his back when he set the ball down to the side.
Milton, 37.
4:14 to go. Mifflinburg trying to respond to that Milton drive. The senior quarterback, Tom Dorman. And the give is to 42. We talked about him earlier. That's Solomonson.
That was number 12, wasn't it, Jim?
Well, it is, and that's Justin Sowers. Yes, that's correct. Thank you for that correction.
Justin Sowers on that carry.
And Sowers and Solomonson leave the field.
You notice that on some plays, number 33, Rothermel will take a step and an exaggerated motion to the opposite direction that he's running.
2nd and 4, straight up the head, through the middle, close to a first down. And the ball carrier is number 13, Kurt Work.
That motion by Rothermel is to get the defense moving the opposite direction from the direction he wants to run. And it's been effective so far as Rothermel has picked up some big yardage.
I think it's effective because you know the Milton defense is going to pay attention to wherever Rothermel is on the field. If he goes away, you're right, Carl, they're going to drag somebody with him. 3rd down and 1 from the 45. They give it to the Bull, Rothermel, and he gets the first down. He's close to midfield at the 48 of the Wildcats.
Rothermel just a tough, gutsy runner, lowers his shoulder, lowers his head, barrels into that line of scrimmage, and you're going to have to be very low and very tough-minded if you're going to stop him. Mifflinburg now just short of the 50-yard line.
Well, Carl, looks like the pattern of tonight's game will be ball control. So this game will probably go pretty quick. We only have 2:38 to go in the half as it is now.
A lot of running, and running eats up the clock.
1st and 10 now. Ulrich got time. Throws complete to number 2 for Mifflinburg, Brad Gilbert, the wide receiver from the opposite side. He's got not a first down. It's going to be shy by about 2 yards, but he's in Milton territory inside the 45-yard line.
Now, a point to remember is that Mifflinburg is now heading into that wind. And if you're a Milton Black Panther and you're watching that, you're saying to yourself, now, wait a minute, we couldn't do that into the wind. What's going on here?
And it's not a direct wind. It's a crosswind that's pretty much coming against Mifflinburg, but also blowing toward their bench on the opposite of the field. Confusion in the backfield. The give to the tailback, it gets to the 45. Loss of about a yard. And Carl, we saw that, I believe, on Haas's field goal attempt. It caused it, I believe, to fade off to the left.
Doug Rothermel going off the football field. He might have been hurt on that play.
Timeout.
Referees are taking time out so that he can be looked at.
He takes his helmet off. He's walking on his own. Possibly shaken up, maybe concussion, perhaps.
Now he's bleeding. He got gashed somehow or other.
Well, I believe that's a PIAA rule that you've got to take him out of the ball game and take care of that.
Any kind of blood, the player must go off the field till it gets taken care of.
Look at that great look at the Mifflinburg huddle there.
Good job. If Rothermel is not able to get back in here, that is a serious blow to Mifflinburg. They need him for that running attack. And if you noticed, he tried to run laterally across the field. That is not his strong suit. Going straight ahead is Doug Rothermel's bread and butter.
Carl, he is so necessary to the Mifflinburg offense that they have called a timeout in order to stall for a little bit more time to treat him, get him back on the field, perhaps. But he's left the field, so I do not believe, even if he's ready, that he can come on the field for this play. Once you leave the field, you must leave for a play.
That's correct. He cannot come in for a play. But this gives a little more time to work on him. And there you see a shot of Jamie Sowers, the Mifflinburg head coach, exhorting his troops. Come on now. We have to keep this going. We're in good shape here. Let's go. Let's keep it up. And let's give a little more time on the sideline for our star to get back in here.
Great job down there by Rick Malibu Podlesny. Yeah, the best place, Coach, to eat is the Pizza Town on Front Street.
Hey, come on up to Mifflinburg. We'll get you a meal. That's what he's saying to him.
1:37 to go, first half. Hey, it's been pretty good. Low scoring. Field position battle.
Field position battle, but even though Milton had the good field position early, they were not able to cash in on it. They were able to get their touchdown because of the a blocked punt.
Here it is, 3rd down and 3 now from the 45 of Milton.
Walls.
And he will be close to a first down.
Second effort.
And I'll bet he got it on that, Carl. Close to the 40. What do you want to bet he got this first down? We've already given the indication.
The Milton defense had him stopped, but they were not able to wrap again. They did not wrap their arms. That is very, very critical.
That's got to drive Fortunato crazy. We're in the 9th week of the season. He's been yelling about that all year. And I believe that was the Milton sideline we had a look at there.
Good shot of the crowd here. This is homecoming night for the Milton Black Panthers.
Jason George gives us the wide shot. And here's the option. Dorman always hit at the line of scrimmage. Spins. Gets a couple yards and the flag goes down.
Penalty flag is right.
What do you think, Carl? Holding?
I think so. Yep, that's what it is. Usually when you see a flag in that kind of situation, it is a hold against the offensive team, and this time is no exception.
Well, now what they do here is they will mark the penalty from the spot of the foul. So if you commit the hold in your backfield, you lose the yardage from the line of scrimmage to where you committed it. Then you got to mark the 10 yards off from there. So it could be more than 10 yards, depending upon where the infraction occurred.
It's holding against the Mifflinburg Wildcats, a 10-yard penalty from the site of the infraction.
Looks like it was a late holding toward the end of the play to at about the 40-yard line. They'll move it back to the 39. I missed. Oh, that's a look at the Danville. That's a look at the Mifflinburg fans. Milton fans. No, they're on the opposite side of the field. Oh, yes, that is. That is the Milton fans. We swung the camera back around this way. Well, if that's the Milton fans, then how come we're not on? How come we can't get on here, Carl?
We're not supposed to be on. We're just supposed to let people know what's going on.
All right, so you are looking at the Milton fans there. We have a stoppage in play. First and 18 after the 8-yard holding call. So the penalty keeps it at first down, remains first down from midfield.
Milton with the 4-down lineman and all those defensive backs.
And he's complete to number 34 tonight, Mike Sowers. And he will get down to about the 42-yard line, well short of the first down. It'll be second down.
He picked up the penalty, basically. That's about it.
Which I think you probably want to do. You don't want to try to get it all back at once.
Right, good point.
Carl, we haven't seen Mifflinburg throw much tonight, but when Dorman has thrown, he has had time to throw.
He didn't have a great deal of time on that particular play, but he has had the opportunities, and he's been accurate when he's thrown the football. Mifflinburg still relies very, very heavily on their running attack, and Rusty Walls getting back in there at the last moment causes another timeout for Mifflinburg.
Timeout with 33 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll keep it here. Second down and 11 for Mifflinburg. You got to think perhaps about a trick play in this situation.
Once again, Jamie Sowers in there talking to his young players. Now, Jamie Sowers himself was a very, very good football player at Mifflinburg. He graduated from Mifflinburg, I'm going to say, in 1971.
It might have been late 60s, but I'm not sure of that.
At one time, he led the state in touchdowns.
He may still be the all-time rushing leader at Mifflinburg.
I wouldn't doubt that a bit.
I think he might be.
I wouldn't doubt that a bit. He was a good one, I know that. I remember watching him play.
Carl, I just noticed something. Down the Milton cheerleaders they do something nobody else does that I've seen. They bring carts, little milk carts, and they stand on them. It enables them to see over top of the sideline. I've never seen other cheerleaders do that.
They want to be involved in the game. They want to know what's going on out there. And there you see a
look
shot
at that look. Boy, Rick, you are right on top of stuff tonight. What a sharp crew we have here tonight at Alumni Field. And here's Dorman on 2nd and 11 now. Looks like a screen.
It's a screen, exactly.
It goes to Solomonson, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That was read pretty well. And a late flag, Carl. Don't tell me that Milton stops the play and then gets a late hit personal foul that gives Mifflinburg the first down. Don't tell me that's going to happen.
That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh, my God, I guarantee you.
Face mask.
Well, I guess that's a little more forgivable, but still.
Face mask penalty. against the Milton Black Panthers, and that is a shame because that's going to be a first down for Mifflinburg.
Well, it is if it's not an unintentional face mask, right, Carl? Isn't that a 5-yard penalty in high school ball?
I'm not sure about that in high school, but you notice that there's a Mifflinburg player lying down out there. He's been injured.
Well, let's see here. It is face mask, and they're moving it all the way down to the 30-yard line. That's a first down. Now they're putting the 4th down marker up, but that's yardage. No, they're moving the chains.
It's a first down.
Wow, that is a huge play. 22 seconds left. But hey, it would have been what? 3rd down, 4th down?
Would have been 4th down, I think.
And there's Solomonson being attended to by, is that Max Schneider?
Yes, it is.
So this will delay the half a little bit more. They'll help him up. And it is Solomonson.
And he's all right. Thank goodness for that. Hobbling a little bit, but he's going to be okay. He'll be back in before this game is over.
Carl, we are definitely within field goal range of Ian Cuneo at the 30-yard line. Clock running, 18 seconds to go. 1st and 10 from the 30 of the Black Panthers. Mifflinburg leads by 1. Dorman to throw. Once again, has time. Throws complete. Down to the 20 and out of bounds. It'll stop the clock. And that catch was made by number 2.
Brad Gilbert.
The wide receivers made a couple big plays. My doggone binoculars went out of focus on me. 8 seconds to go. You know, you got to give Gilbert credit for getting out of bounds, Carl. The clock could have ran out on that.
That was a great catch, but he also was able to get himself out of bounds. And we're going to see Mr. Cuneo attempt this long field goal.
6-yard attempt against the wind. The wind has died somewhat. It's more of a breeze. Left hash mark. Holder is Gilbert. Low, it may have it. It does. It is good. A 37-yard field goal with 3 seconds to go in the first half, and Mifflinburg takes the 10-6 lead. And there you go, Carl. The field goal does come into play by Ian Cuneo.
You just see how strong his leg is, because that was not a good kick for him. It was not a good kick for him. His kicks many times are very high and just booming. That was not a good kick. It was more like a line drive, but he was able to drive it through anyway because of his great leg strength. You see that he's a big, tall kid. He doesn't look particularly powerful, but boy, oh boy.
The program says 6'1.5.
And 160 pounds, so he's long and lean. Man, what a powerful leg.
Carl, it's a good point you make, because any other kicker who gets his kick low is going to fail. And here's the one instance where you'll see a kicker get his kick low on a field goal attempt and make the field goal because he has such strength, as you said. It just kept going.
He is a soccer player converted to football, and he's been quoted as saying he likes the excitement because there's so many more people here.
Well, he's going to have a soccer playoff game pretty soon against Williamsport. Onside kick with 3 seconds to go. Bounce is taken. It's going to be Batman, and he's going to be stopped, and that'll end the first half with the Mifflinburg Wildcats putting a serious dent into the playoff hopes of Milton Black Panthers, leading 10-6 here at halftime.
Looking for something new to spice up your home entertainment system? Visit Lamprino's in Route 45, Lewisburg. Check out our large selection of Techniques and JVC stereo receivers, tape decks, and CD players. Or add the convenience of this 100-disc CD changer to your stereo system. Enjoy your favorite movies or sporting events with the exciting power and realism of a Dolby surround sound system. Lamprino's has everything you need to add some excitement to your home entertainment system.
Carl Higgis Chevrolet Geo in Milton wants to know if you would drive 25 minutes to save over $7,500. You can on over 35 vans now in stock at the largest conversion van dealer in eastern Pennsylvania. You can drive away in a luxury van for as little as $267 a month. Carl Higa also has great deals on Luminas, Monte Carlos, Camaros, and so much more. For conversion pickups and luxury vans, visit Carl Higgis Chevrolet Geo in Milton.
Hi, I'm Paula Poundstone for Comic Relief. In a perfect world, we'd all have a roof over our heads, plenty of food, clothing, and health care. The reality is that millions of Americans don't have what most of us take for granted. One way you can help is to be a part of Comic Relief, providing health care to millions of homeless Americans. Comic Relief 7 happens live from the Universal Amphitheater on November 11th, only on HBO. Join us as we bring down the house to help the homeless. Comic Relief, where there's laughter, there's hope.
Help to keep the United Way visible, vital, and everywhere. A helping hand symbolizes United Way's support of services and programs that in turn support people in your community. By contributing to the United Way, you're supporting your local American Red Cross, community parks, recreation areas, and your local Big Brothers Big Sisters organization, just to name a few. The United Way cares about all people everywhere and represents hope for tomorrow.
Megan Baker, the new homecoming queen for the Milton High School area here tonight, and a fine queen she'll make. I know Megan very personally, and what a nice honor it is to be chosen homecoming queen for the Milton Area High School.
And now,
okay,
with
Carl.
halftime stats, here's Mr. Snyder.
Okay, thanks, Carl. And boy, I'll tell you what, we've seen a pretty good football game, but Mifflinburg is on top, and halftime stats will show that they are on top, both statistic-wise and on the scoreboard. For the Mifflinburg Wildcats, the leading ball carrier is Doug Rothenwald, who has 95 yards on 15 carries. Kurt Wirt has 3 yards on 1 carry. Rusty Walls 10 yards on 4 carries. Justin Sowers 7 yards on 2 carries. And Tom Dorman, the quarterback, has 3 yards on 3 carries, and one of those was for a 1-yard touchdown. So Mifflinburg amassed 118 yards on the ground. Through the air, Tom Dorman attempted 5 passes. He was only good on 4 of those, and he suffered 1 interception. His leading receiver was Brad Gilbert, who has 21 yards on 2 receptions. Mike Sowers has 3 yards on 2 receptions. So they amassed 24 yards through the air, or 142 total offensive yards in the first half. On the other side, Milton Black Panthers, aren't doing very well. And statistic-wise, their leading ball carrier was split between B.J. Robinault and Ryan Newhart. Both of them have 11 yards total apiece, but B.J. Robinault has the all-important 1 touchdown for the Milton Black Panthers. Luke Murray only has 3 carries for 8 yards. So Milton had 30 yards on the ground. Through the air, Greg Ulrich attempted 2 passes, was complete on 1, has suffered 1 interception. His receiver was B.J. Robinault for 5 yards. So Milton was only able to garner 35 total offensive yards for the first half.
It's no real wonder then why Mifflinburg is ahead, and it's amazing they're not ahead even further, judging by those statistics. Rothermel himself has 95 yards, as you just heard, and that's in the first half. If he continues that, he'll have a tremendous evening.
That was Glenn Snyder from WMLP Radio providing our stats tonight, and we thank Glenn for helping us out in that department. Glenn was the one who identified our homecoming queen tonight, Megan Baker. And we are set to begin what promises to be a very interesting second half, Carl, with Mifflinburg leading 10-6. And that really surprises me. Milton, did Glenn say 35 yards of total offense?
35 yards, that's right. It's amazing, really, that the Mifflinburg isn't ahead by a lot more. The one statistic that doesn't really show up, though, is the fact that Milton's touchdown came after a blocked punt. That really was a godsend for Milton because they needed those points in the worst kind of way. It's just another second half here, so here we go.
And the kickoff goes from number 33, Logan Dougherty. It'll go out of bounds, and you have your 3 options here. You can take it where it went out, you can take it at the 35, or you can assess a 5-yard penalty against the kicking team and make them kick it again.
Most teams will take the penalty and have the kicking team kick over. I suspect that's what will happen here.
I've seen a lot of teams this year take it at 35, Carl. They don't have to worry about fumbles, and they still get pretty good field position, but you are right on what they're going to do this time. They're going to kick it over again from the 35.
I think most teams do that because of the possibility of getting a nice return.
And that will go down as penalty yardage in your stats. That's considered an illegal procedure against the kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
Milton's kicker number 33, Logan Dougherty, will tee it up and try again.
Let's see whether or not Mifflinburg gets beyond the 35 or not, and whether it pays off for them.
That'll be an interesting thing to watch. Milton Black Panthers in black.
Cuneo deep. Or no, check that, Kurt Wirt deep. And there's one of the up men takes it. It's Jamie Sowers. And he will get to the 40. And it was a good decision to have him kick it again.
Most teams, I think, will do that. They'll take the re-kick, hoping for a big return.
I think a lot depends on your situation, Carl. If you're behind, you know, you really have to gamble on a big play. Maybe if you're ahead, you know, you think 35, that's pretty good. We won't turn it over.
That's a good point, Jim. A lot of this is situational type decision.
First and 10 from the 40. It goes to Kurt Wirt. And he gets to the 45 and gang tackled.
Ridden down there, particularly by number 26 for Milton. That's Tom Ilio.
Alio, I believe it is.
Alio.
You know, I thought it was a yellow. And they told me a couple games ago, the coaches said, no, it is Alio. But it looks like a yellow, don't you think? A-I-E-L-L-O?
That's how I pronounce it if I were to guess.
Yeah, that's the way I
guess would be wrong. I don't see Doug Rothermill back in here for Mifflinburg. Apparently they were not able to solve that problem that he had at the end of the first half.
And a short gain as I try to focus in with the binoculars. That's number 49. Is it, Carl? Help me out.
39, Rusty Walls.
Walls.
The starters for Mifflinburg on offense include the tackles, Matt Grease, number 54, and Adam Shipton, 75. The guards, Merv Souter, number 52, and John Snook, number 70. The center is Stad Lance, number 58, and the tight end, number 2, Brad Gilbert.
Well, those close-ups make that Milton defensive line look awfully big. And warming up on the Milton sideline is number 17, Rob Schwader, the sophomore quarterback. Possibly a change in the making. And there's Walls again. He stopped at the line of scrimmage, Carl.
Good defensive surge by the Milton Black Panthers keeps Walls from gaining anything. The other starters for Mifflinburg, number 16, Tom Dorman, is the quarterback. Rothermill, number 33, who is not in at the moment, as you look at Schroeder warming up on the Milton sideline. Rothermill's number 33, the tailback. The fullback, 13, is Kurt Wirt. Number 84, the split end, Ty Ulrich, and the flanker is Justin Sowers, number 12.
Kudos to Jason George for giving us that shot of Schroeder, who's evidently going to start the second half at quarterback for Milton. Here's the punt, and it will bounce at about the 30, and it gets a big bounce to the 20-yard line, and that's not a bad punt, Carl.
The bounce definitely helped. There's no question about that. Took a good Mifflinburg bounce.
Ty Ulrich, the punter.
Milton's football, first and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Sure enough, Rob Schroeder is in now at the quarterback position for the Milton Black Panthers.
Milton has started 3 quarterbacks this year. Ryan Pauling started that Central Columbia game. He has not been seen action since. Then back around the Selinsgrove game, 4th week of the season, Ulrich came in, was very effective. Tonight, not able to move the ball so well.
You're looking at the Milton defensive coordinator. That's Bob Keister.
First and 10 now. Schroeder at the helm. The pitch quickly to Newhart. He gets outside, crosses the 20, and he's going to have first down yardage, and it's a big play to start the Milton series.
Have a little bit of extra situational stuff here on the sideline, and there's a penalty flag on the play. It is going to be, I believe, an unsportsmanlike.
Is it against the player on the field, Carl, or was it against the Milton bench, which was complaining about something there?
I think the latter, the Milton bench, I believe.
I think so, too.
We'll see.
Mifflinburg points to, yeah, it's terrible. You get the first down, unsportsmanlike
conduct against the Milton Black Panthers.
So you just negated a great play to start your series.
The problem there was that when number 45 for Milton, Ryan Newhart, went out of bounds, there were 2 other kids from Mifflinburg that jumped on top of him when he was already out of bounds. And there's another penalty flag.
Now, who's this against, and who said something?
Another penalty against the Milton Black Panthers. One of the players apparently has said something.
You see Russell Bowers out there talking. Check that. That's Jason Bankert, 59. And if he was the offending penalty, then you know Fortunato's going to say, you get your tail back to that huddle now. Check the official out. He's writing down his number. We're looking at a possible ejection here, Carl.
Well, there's a player that was...
That's Yogi Michaels, by the way.
That was guilty of some kind of infraction. He was on the sideline, not even in the play, and he might be gone. I'm not sure how that works.
Here we go. Yogi Michaels is going to give it to us. Unsportsmanlike dead ball foul against Milton.
That's the first 15 yards.
We're going to mark that off first, Carl, and maybe...
That's right. And now there's going to be another 15-yarder marked off, or maybe half the distance now.
Yeah, half the distance. Here comes the call. Yogi Michaels, dead ball foul again. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Against the Milton Black Panthers.
Half the distance to the goal. So what would have been on the first play of the half for Milton, a first down at their own 30-yard line, which is a nice start. They're going to end up with the ball at their own 9-yard line, first down, and about 15 and 7 is 22, 32 yards to go, Carl. How do you like that?
It's a shame, but those referees are in charge, and they want to make sure they stay in charge.
So Milton stays conservative. The Newhart gets to the line of scrimmage a little bit beyond and not much more. I think Mifflinburg's fired up.
They are fired up now because if they get the football here and can tack another score under their already 10-6 lead, they're going to be in a very, very good position.
This is a key point in the ball game, Carl, where Milton could have come out and put together a great drive, maybe taking the lead, and instead they're going to probably end up punting from poor field position.
Well, Ryan Newhart had a very nice run on that previous play, and then the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, 30 yards in penalties, that's devastating.
Not quite 30, about 22 because of the half the distance.
That's right.
And here's Schwatter, throws, oh, it bounces off of B.J. Robinot, and he takes a shot from Rothermel.
I guess Rothermel is back in.
Yeah, he's...
And Robinot knows it. Holy cow. What happened there was that the ball was thrown a little bit too fast for Robinot to react to it. It hit him in the face mask. Just as he was beginning to recover from that, Rothermel smacked him one and knocked him right down on the ground.
I think he had just turned around to look at the ball, and it was there a little earlier than expected. Okay, yeah. Carl. You know, another danger you have is...
Timeout. Milton Black Panthers.
With 8:44 to go third quarter, Carl. And another problem that you have in this situation, 3rd and 30, is if you decide to try to throw a pass to get yourself out of the jam, the opposition knows you're probably going to come with a pass, and you may end up throwing a key turnover in this situation.
Dave Fortunato is out talking to his troops. You see him there scratching his head and wondering what's going wrong here in the beginning of this 3rd quarter. He's also telling them undoubtedly you have got to keep your cool, because if you start losing your composure now, Mifflinburg will eat you alive.
And look at the sideline. They just broke up a huddle at the Milton sideline, and the defensive coach was talking to his unit, trying to get them ready because they know they're about ready to go out in the field. And he's saying, we're going to have poor field position, fellas, and you fellas have got to be ready to keep them from getting a single first down.
This next defensive series for Milton is going to be critical if they're going to win this game. For those reasons that you mentioned, Jim.
Carl, my dad used to talk about it. One of his favorite plays in the situation is the quick kick. You know, if you've got a guy back there, maybe in the backfield, a tailback or something that can punt, you know, maybe you think about doing that. Look, there's nobody beyond the 20-yard line from Mifflinburg. Might get you out of trouble.
Be a wise thing to do now, but we're still facing the wind if we're Milton Black Panthers.
Good point. Schroeder gets away from trouble and finally brought down. Is it Wirt?
Number 13.
Kurt Wirt.
Number 13, Kurt Wirt on that tackle.
Well, there won't be any deception now. Mifflinburg knows the Black Panthers will punt, and they will punt from the Milton end zone.
The Mifflinburg Wildcats are ready to go. There's no question about that. They can smell a win.
Carl, if they get any kind of return on this at all, it's going to be trouble.
Number 89, Jeremy Snyder, the punter for Milton.
Good snap. Decent punt. Going to get a bounce. Good coverage by the Black Panthers all the way out to the 47. No return, and give a gold star to the special teams punting unit of Milton on that play.
John Kyle, number 78, sprinting down there to put the ball down. And Mifflinburg will take over the football in good field position. Not great field position, but good field position inside the Milton Black Panther 50.
Well, the offense self-destructed. The special teams got them out of trouble. And now we'll see whether the defense can make it hold up here and keep it a 4-point ball game.
See again that the Milton Black Panthers are jamming line of scrimmage, looking for a running play.
Ball at the 47 of Milton.
It's Rothermel.
To the line of scrimmage, nowhere. He is stopped. Big play by the Milton defense.
This series, very important for Milton.
Robinot coming up with a key tackle.
You looking right into his eyeballs, number 34, B.J. Robinette.
Well, this is some of the best camera work I had ever had the pleasure of working with while my 5 years of working for CCN. Great job, guys. Here's the pitch. It's to Salas. Reverses field. Dances by people. Carl, that was an amazing run just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's barely what he did, though.
And back onto the field for the Black Panthers is Marshawn Mosley, Carl. And he sneaks back on the field. Maybe Mifflinburg won't notice. But you got to wonder if they're not looking at a big play here to Marshawn Mosley on 3rd and 9. There is nobody that I'm aware of in the CSC that's quicker than Marshawn Mosley. Of course, he's playing defense here, trying to keep up with the Mifflinburg wide receiver. In motion is 34, Mike Sowers. Rothermel gets through a hole, gets first down yardage, and more to the 30.
Big play for Mifflinburg.
Boy, what a great time to have a weapon like that. And look at the shot of him, Carl. He did get a gash there, and you can see the bandage. Is that a pad or is that a bandage?
It looks like some kind of pad, although it could be tape. I'm not sure.
It's probably foam over top of a bandage taped to his forehead.
He was bleeding profusely when they took him off the field at the end of the first half.
I hope that's mud on his uniform, Carl, not blood.
He's got the ball again. It's certainly not hurting his legs.
Good. Another 6-7 yards, Carl. And I don't think it's necessarily too early to talk about the fact that he's keeping the clock running here.
It appears to be some kind of pad, and you can tell that he's having a difficult time seeing where it's going because that's right down over his eyes.
The helmet might be pushing that down into his eyes, Carl. Maybe they should do that more often to him.
Yeah.
Like a horse with blinders.
Right.
5:30 to go, 3rd quarter. 10-6 lead Mifflinburg. They're driving straight ahead to give to the
42
20.
is the ball carrier, Luke Solomonson.
And once again, what they're doing is driving, keeping the clock running, and possibly ending up in a drive that would put them up 2 scores.
Well, we have 5 minutes, 12 seconds, 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd period as you see Solomonson going out of the game. And the more time that Mifflinburg chews up, the better it is for them since they have the lead.
It'll put pressure on the Milton offense to score twice in what may be the 4th quarter, as the 3rd quarter is certainly winding down.
Well, if anybody saw the game last week at Jersey Shore, you saw that Milton can definitely win a ball game in the 4th period. In fact, they won that game on the very last play of the game.
Milton's Dorman gets the sneak for the first down, Carl. And boy, I heard there was quite a melee at the end of that game.
I've heard that also. The Jersey Shore Bulldogs thought that they had not really lost that game. They thought Marshawn Mosley's knee was down. The referees disagreed. And as I said before, in this game, what the referees say is what is important. It doesn't matter what you think.
Ball is at the 16 of the Black Panthers now. 1st and 10 for Mifflinburg. Dorman. Give to Wirt, and he will go absolutely nowhere. The Milton defense was there to meet him.
Good line play on the part of the Milton Black Panthers, particularly B.J. Robinette, number 34.
Jed Myers in there.
Had a very good defensive surge on that play, and they stuffed that play right back into the backfield.
Oh, they did. You almost have to be concerned if you're Mifflinburg, Carl. You don't want to get too conservative down here inside the 20 and have a drive bogged down, but
Mifflinburg still has the big field goal kicker in there.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. And he's got the wind to their back.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, if you assume he's going to get 3, you're looking at a 7-point lead at the least. 2nd and 11, the pitch. He's got blockers. It's Rusty Walls. He's got an opening. He's to the 10, and he's upended. Oh, great tackle there by number 14 for
Justin Pauling. Good job, Justin Pauling.
A sophomore. And Justin Pauling is only 5'10", 155, but good technical skills with that tackle there.
He is an athlete.
Carl, they're short of the first down. The Wildcats need to get to the 7-yard line. They're at the 10. This will be 3rd and 4. There goes Walls.
Justin Pauling and the famous Pauling family from Milton. They have 2, he has a brother and a sister who both scored over 1,000 points in basketball.
33, Rothermel, but there's a flag. He's going to get to the 5-yard line. Most likely it's holding.
It could be holding, but it's in a place where you get motion. No, holding, you're right, Jim.
I didn't see any motion, Carl. And if it's not, you know, once they get the play off, you pretty much, the only penalty really can be against the offense once the play's off pretty much is holding, isn't it? And of course, if it's after the play ends, you pretty much figure it's a dead ball, personal foul. So there they go. They're marching back to the 21. It's a big play for Milton. Little breathing room now. And now, Carl, that's 3rd down and a long 14 yards, and that certainly changes things.
It does, no question about it.
That may have saved at least 4 points for Milton. The defense right there. They can stop this play. Dorman scrambles, gets to the line of scrimmage, and the pursuit is there. He will not even get back to the original line of scrimmage, and we'll bring on Ian Cuneo. And that holding call basically cost Mifflinburg 4 points there.
B.J. Robinald is having quite a defensive game tonight. Looking very, very good. Number 34 for Milton, B.J. Robinald.
Of course, he's playing both ways, running the ball somewhat tonight. So it makes his performance on defense all the more remarkable.
This is another field goal of approximately 37 yards. The attempt coming from the 27 plus 10 yards for the end zone.
And a strong wind to his back, but it's going away toward the Milton sideline, Mifflinburg sideline. It's short.
Cuneo slipped when he planted. That's what made that field goal off mark.
And how about the Milton defense? Boy, they came away with a real break. Allowed Mifflinburg to get down inside the 20 and then survived and gave away nothing. And it's still a 4-point game.
Now it's up to the offense. The Milton offense needs to make a decent drive here. And if possible, they need to score. Milton needs that score in the worst kind of way right now. As you look again at the crowd here, this is homecoming night for Milton High School.
Okay, Carl, 1st and 10 from the 20, 80 yards to go, 2:03 to go, 3rd quarter. Schroeder now on the keeper. He's got a block from Robinall. It's a good one. And he'll get to the 25-yard line where he'll be met by number 12, Sowers. Check that, 42, Luke Solomonson, the linebacker.
Also Sowers, I think. No, I thought I saw a 12 also, Jim. You were right.
Maybe you saw the 2 there, Carl, of Brad Gilbert, the other linebacker. A 5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5. Carl, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but if I'm Milton and I score, maybe I'm thinking about going for 2 to protect with a 4-point lead against that field goal by Cuneo in this game.
It's certainly something to consider.
Schroeder rolls the left-handed quarterback complete to number 14, Pauling, for the 1st down.
Nice catch by Justin Pauling.
You know, I like the move by Dave Fortunato to bring Schroeder in because he's a left-handed quarterback, and it shows the defense something that they were not used to seeing in the 1st quarter. They're used to seeing the right-handed quarterback. Now they've got to adjust, and there's the score, 10-6, Mifflinburg with 1:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Milton has possession of the football, and it's 1st and 10.
Pauling is split right, Marshawn Mosley in the slot. And they gave it straight ahead. Nope, yes, good fake. They had me completely fooled on that. But Schroeder still had it when he rolled. He gave it to B.J. Robinall. He gets about 2 yards to the 35. The situation looks so different, Carl, in the time situation from when you have the ball as opposed to when you don't have the ball. And Milton's got the ball, and suddenly it seems like there's a lot of time in the game with 53 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
That's because Milton mixes it up. They have a much better balanced offense than Mifflinburg. When Mifflinburg has the ball, they chew up huge chunks of time because they're running it all the time.
Give it straight to head of B.J. Robinall, and he's got 1st down and bonus yardage beyond the 45. And the Milton Black Panther machine is starting to roll.
They need something like this right now. They need that good offensive surge. You're looking again at B.J. Robinall, number 34. He's coming off, and Newhart coming in to replace him.
Ball resting at the 47 of Milton. 17 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The clock is running. This will probably be the final play of the quarter. 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Newhart. Power football to midfield. 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 7, and the time will run out here in the third quarter. Our score, Mifflinburg 10, Milton 6. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here on CCN right after this break.
Hello, I'm Tom Klein. Most people call me Tom Klein. I'm gonna buy from Hawkins Chevrolet Oldsmobile. You buy anywhere else, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. That's not true when you purchase a used car, truck, or van here at Hawkins. They always have a great selection with fantastic prices. You know, Mama said if you treat them right, they'll always come back. That's what they do at Hawkins Chevrolet Oldsmobile in Danville.
Visit Route 15 Flea Market Center in Lewisburg, where you'll always receive a warm welcome. Imagine acres packed with row upon row of mini stores selling bargain-priced items. Or imagine hundreds of garage sales side by side where you can buy hidden treasures with pocket change. We're open every Sunday starting at 8 a.m., rain or shine, with free admission along with free parking. We're not just a flea market, we're just like a shopping mall. Route 15 Flea Market and Farmers Market, located 2 miles north of Lewisburg on Route 15.
We're America's National Guard. When our country calls, you can find us half a world away. When our states call, we're there saving lives and improving many more. The National Guard.
Looking at B.J. Robino, good shot of him there.
Number 34.
Back here on
a terrific game tonight.
Excuse me, Carl. Back here on the Community Cable Network, we're set for the fourth quarter. Mifflinburg leading 10-6 over Milton, but the Black Panthers have the ball 2nd and 8 in midfield.
They're right at the midfield stripe, and more importantly, this quarter, Milton has the wind at its back. That's going to help the passing game, I think.
Milton has the wind. That means that Ian Cuneo's got to kick against the wind this quarter. And Jason Haas has the advantage. That really, I think, somewhat neutralizes the kicking game. I think it brings Haas, who's a good kicker in his own right, and Cuneo even.
Again, we're looking at the Milton cheerleaders. They're enjoying this football game, but they'll enjoy it a lot better if the Milton Black Panthers are able to put another score on the board. Ryan Newhard, the remaining back for the Milton Black Panthers.
3 wide receivers, Carl, including Marshawn Mosley, and it goes for Mosley, and he's intercepted at the 20-yard line, and give the credit to number 18 of Josh Hobbins, the safety for Mifflinburg. 2 big interceptions tonight for Mifflinburg, Carl.
Number 16 on that interception.
That's Tom Dorman, also the safety.
Quarterback and the safety, that's right.
Well, the 16 and the 18 are kind of hard to read. I guess I should have looked at our monitor, and I could have seen clearly that it would have been Tom Dorman. There's a look at him.
And you see B.J. Robinall going back onto the field for the Milton Black Panthers. Back into his middle linebacker position. Milton in a 6-2.
1st and 10. And the gift outside, and Rothermel has room. They bunched the line of scrimmage. He's got lots of room. And here comes, yes, it's knocked out of bounds by 31. Not Yoakum, it's Luke Murray. I will never forget Yoakum. What a great run. Carl, they bunched the line of scrimmage, and great speed there by Rothermel getting into Milton territory.
Well, anytime you're bunching the line of scrimmage, as Jim put it, if the offensive team is able to get beyond that initial line of scrimmage, there is nobody there because the defensive backs are all worrying about some wide receiver. That allowed Rothermel to get out there and to make that very nice gain for the first down for Mifflinburg. And you're looking right directly into number 33, Doug Rothermel's face.
Ball in Milton territory at the 49, 1st and 10. Rothermel, the bull, the tailback to the 45-yard line. Perhaps more importantly than the 4-yard gain is the clock running.
Rothermel a little slow getting up again.
B.J. Robino helps him up there. And Carl, Mifflinburg, this is the important thing for Mifflinburg, is they've got a 4-point lead, they've got the ball, and they're running the clock out. If they score a touchdown, they go up 2 scores with whatever time is remaining. That's the significance of this drive.
And Rothermel repairing some of his equipment. That equipment, as you can imagine, is taking a tremendous beating because he's on the field practically the entire game, and he shadow cog in this Mifflinburg football team.
You gotta feel good for this Mifflinburg team. They've had a disappointing season at 2-6, but like the Lewisburg team last year that went 0-9 and beat Selinsgrove, they've hung in there. And
not only have they hung in there, they're giving Milton everything that Milton wants.
2nd down and 7. Here comes Jamie Sowers. Gives us to the first man through. No, it's the second man through. Rothermel, the Bull, picks up short yardage, gets out of bounds, which you don't want to see because it stops the clock with 10:36 to go.
If you notice the sidelines, Rothermel couldn't get through the Milton Black Panthers players on the sidelines. They decided they're going to keep them on there on the sidelines so we can't hurt them anymore.
Mifflinburg coach Jamie Sowers in his 13th season with a record of 63-74-1. Of course, Dave Fortunato, his counterpart, only in his 2nd season with a good record, 12-7. Last year, Milton won this game 35-20, and the Wildcats are looking for revenge. Here's the play. It's Rothermel again. He gets to the 40. He's got the first down. Clock will continue to run.
The Milton Black Panthers gang tackling Rothermel, but he's really up to the challenge. He is a tough kid.
Carl, one nice thing from Mifflinburg, if they win this game tonight, they will improve upon last year's 2-9 record. They only had 2 wins, so they can pick up 3 tonight. Next week they have Jersey Shore, and you certainly think they have a chance playing at home next week, maybe to pick up 4 wins, and 4-6 would not be a bad record considering some of the problems that they've had in terms of injuries that they seem to hit every year.
This is timeout for a measurement. It's a good thing for Rothermel because he is really winded. He would love to take a break right now.
Carl, we talked about that game against Jersey Shore that Milton played last week. I don't know if we gave the score that 14-8, I believe it was.
14-7 because it was going to go into overtime. It was 7-7. Milton scored a touchdown to go up. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I got that out of the newspaper, so I thought, not to say that it couldn't have been wrong. But interestingly, in the 4th quarter, Mifflinburg has given up a total. They have been outscored this year, a total of 46-21. Milton has outscored their opponents 41-28. I believe that's Rothermel again for the short yardage. That was a 4th down play. I thought that was 3rd down, Carl. Milton may have stopped Mifflinburg.
Well, it was a big play, whatever. Rusty Walls on the carry.
Excuse me, Rusty Walls.
Play. If Milton has stopped them, that is a big, big play for the Milton Black Panthers.
Timeout for the measurement. Carl, that's interesting. On 4th down, now I thought it was 3rd down. It was a key play. They did not go to Rothermel. They figured the defense would be keying on him, so they gave it to Walls. Interesting call.
Walls up the middle, and the Milton Black Panthers were right on it. We're going to see what it is.
We're going to get a great look at this, Carl. A great look.
Again, excellent camera work.
This is a key decision here.
First down, Milton.
On downs. Mifflinburg failed to convert. Milton takes over on downs at their own 44-yard line. And is that a key play or what?
It will be a key play if Milton can do something with it now. That's the real acid test. Can the Milton Black Panthers cash in here now with the incentive of having stopped the Mifflinburg offense?
Milton has failed to take advantage of strong field position, particularly early in the game. Now they have it with 61 yards to go and 9:56 to go. Schroeder to give to B.J. Romanone. He had a hold, but one man got in there and got the legs. It was number 50 for Mifflinburg, Chad Gessner.
Chad Gessner knifed in from his left defensive end position, I believe, and knocked down B.J. Romanone because there was a lot of territory ahead of Romanone before that play came in.
I love this kind of football. I love low-scoring, tough defensive football where every possession counts.
You certainly find the character of your team on a game like this.
Pitch right, Newhart. Oh, he's tripped up, but he gets away. Tripped up by Gilbert, and he gets back to the 40. 2 great plays, 1 by Gilbert and 2 by Newhart to get to the 40, and now we've got a late flag.
Penalty flag, it looks like something against Mifflinburg.
Oh, Carl.
Yes, it is.
Carl, they had him stopped on 3rd down and 10 with 1 big play to go, and no, another flag, Carl. There goes another one.
Against Mifflinburg.
Oh, my.
And an ejection.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct. You're gone. Who was it?
Well, I'll tell you, it was number 33. It was number 33. Mifflinburg is in trouble.
Oh my gosh, Carl.
It is.
They're pointing to Doug Rothermill.
That's who's out. Doug
Carl,
Rothermill is out of this ball game.
He is gone, Carl. That's huge. That is the Mifflinburg offense right there, getting ready to walk off the field. And we still got to mark off yardage. What a turn.
Rothermill is out of this football game.
What a turn of events. Well, you can see now he had a bandage all the way around his head. And you got an injured player on the field. And that's Mifflinburg's number 42, Luke Sowers. Nope, 12, Jamie Sowers. Well, now look at this, Carl. Here it is, unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards, ejection.
Now this is 30 yards here because there's no half the distance penalty, so it's 30 yards and penalties, a first down for Milton, and a golden opportunity if Milton is going to win this football game.
Carl, it would have been 3rd and 10 from the Milton 40. Instead, it's Milton 1st and 10 from the Mifflinburg 29.
And Milton fans are going crazy. We can feel them shaking these bleachers with their stomping feet.
Timeout, Mifflinburg, and I think that's exactly what they need. And onto the field will come Max Schneider, who obviously is the defensive coordinator. Carl, I can't believe, I'm not sure I've ever seen a bigger turn of events in a high school game, certainly not this season, in one play. The 30 yards, it would have been 3rd and 10, one play, maybe 2 plays to stop them. Instead, you're on your own 29, 1st and 10, and your biggest offense, really your whole offense is gone.
It's a tremendous blow to Mifflinburg. There's no doubt about that. And Max Schneider is now imploring his defense, telling them we have got to do this now. We've got to do it right here. We've controlled this entire game. It's time now to step up and see how gutsy we are. Doug is gone. Let's make up for it right here as you watch the water boy from Milton bring the water back off the field. No small deal for him.
What a tremendous football game. 10-6 Mifflinburg with the Black Panthers having it at the 29. Schroeder rolling, looking, in trouble. What a tackle. What a huge play by number 84 from Mifflinburg, Ty Ulrich. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure I've seen a bigger defensive play in that long a time.
Schroeder needed to get rid of that football, and he just didn't do it.
The defensive end, Carl, Mifflinburg couldn't have got a bigger play at a better time, defensively.
That certainly will give them some more courage as they face this test.
Loss all the way back to the 37-yard line. That's a sack of 8 yards. It's 2nd down and 17.
You're looking at number 84 for Mifflinburg. He just made that huge tackle. Ty Ulrich.
2nd and 17. Schroeder goes to his right, rolls, turns left, has a man. 26, it's complete. He's inside the 20 to the 10-yard line, first down. And that is number 26, Tom Elio. And what a big play offensively for Milton.
Just a little pass just off the line of scrimmage. Tom Elio makes it hold up and does a tremendous job getting down to the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Milton Black Panthers.
The momentum just bounces back and forth. 10-yard line. 8:21 to go. Yeah, you know, Mifflinburg may have a chance if Milton scores, but a big part of their offense is gone. Keep that in mind.
Well, they're certainly not the same offensive or defensive team without him. There's no question about it.
Straight ahead, Brian Newhart gets to the 7.
And the offensive team for Milton
now
standing up to be counted right here and right now.
Now they spot it back to the 8, Carl. 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8. And interestingly, they can get down to just about the 1-yard line to get a first down if they need to. That's significant because should that happen, they'll be able to run a few more plays, need some time off the clock.
I noticed Jason Haas, number 25, the Milton kicker, warming up his leg in case he's needed. He's hoping he is very soon.
Ryan Newhart, oh, he's hit right away. I think it was 50. Chad Gessler, it's his 2nd big tackle he's made this evening. And this time they'll spot it just about the same place, 8-yard line. Carl, it's 3rd down. And I'm glad you mentioned Haas, Carl, because if Milton doesn't get 8 yards on this play, or 7, that's who we're going to see.
Haas, a junior kicker.
But Carl, no, I don't know that you do that. you're down 4 points. I'm not sure Haas really has a place in this game other than an extra point. That may be what he's warming up for.
Big play for the Milton Black Panthers.
Rolling to the right. Turns, left-handed throw. Bullet into the out of end zone. Incomplete, 4th down. And there's no question, Carl, with 6:57, I don't think there's any reason that you're going to kick a field goal here, do you?
No, you've got to go for it, I would think.
Yeah, the ball game's on the line right here.
It's do or die. You make the touchdown, you've got it made. You don't make the touchdown, you hopefully get another shot.
If you're just joining us, you got here just in time because the ball game basically is a microcosm down to this play. Milton gets it, looking awfully good with Doug Rothermel has been ejected out of the game. And if they don't, Mifflinburg's going to have a chance. Well, you know, Mifflinburg's going to have to try to move the ball. It's going to be tough without Rothermel. They may have to punt back to Milton, even if they do get the ball back, and Milton will call a timeout.
It's a timeout for the Milton Black Panthers as the brain trust for Milton is getting together down here on the sideline to try to figure out exactly what they need to do to win this football game. They need to score. They need to score a touchdown. There is about 8 yards separating them from Pater.
Matt Schneider was upset about something when he came onto the field to talk to his team. He talked to the official. Pointing in the end zone, I don't know, maybe he thought there was somebody in there holding one of his defenders.
Well, it's an interesting call because the Milton Black Panthers were complaining that they were getting held. So I guess it depends which set of eyes you're looking through.
Carl, if Milton fails to win this ball game, I think the title of the story would be missed opportunities.
They've had field position all night long and have not been able to capitalize on it. The one time that Milton was able to score, they scored after a blocked punt. And the Mifflinburg Wildcats have been very opportunistic. They've taken advantage of things when they were there, but their number 1 man, number 33, Doug Rothermel, is out of this football.
Well, here it is. 4th down and 7 from the 16. Schroeder keeps. He is just into the end zone. Touchdown. And I mean, he barely made it. Rolls left, and I thought they were going to stop him, Carl. He is in. And the Mifflinburg defenders had better watch what they say. It is now 12-10 Milton. And here's an interesting decision. You go for 2, you get a 4-point lead. You take Ian Cuneo out of the ball game.
I believe that's what Milton's going for.
If you fail and you have a 2-point lead, Ian Cuneo possibly beats you. Kick the extra point, and at least you might get into overtime, assuming you stop Mifflinburg from scoring the touchdown. Not sure I wouldn't possibly kick the extra point here, but they're going for it, Carl.
They're going for 2.
Craig Batman in the backfield. Rolling again. Throw is going to be dropped. Loose ball. They can pick that up, I believe. Is that a live play? Kurt Wirt makes the play. The play is ended, and it's a 12-10 lead, Carl. This is shaping up for quite a finish.
12-10. The Milton Black Panthers in the lead.
At Denny Electric Supply of Danville, we're more than just a contracting supply outlet. Yes, we have Leviton wiring devices and Cutler Hammer load centers, as well as all styles and types of wire. We also have a 24-hour emergency service pickup area, but that's not all. At Denny Electric, we carry Brown household products from central air vacuum cleaners to in-the-wall appliances of all kinds. We also carry Milwaukee brand power tools. So get to Denny Electric Supply of Danville, where you'll get fast, friendly service for all of your electrical needs.
Sure, our name is Fireman Home Oil Company. But if you think that delivering heating oil is all we do, take a closer look. There's the 24-hour convenience of our automated fueling network for your car or truck. Our certified technicians bring comfort into your home with heating and air conditioning systems, humidifiers, and water conditioners. We offer innovative new ways to get more for your home heating dollar. Fireman Home, we're the total energy company.
Hi, I'm Paula Poundstone for Comic Relief. In a perfect world, we'd all have a roof over our heads, plenty of food, clothing, and health care. The reality is that millions of Americans don't have what most of us take for granted. One way you can help is to be a part of Comic Relief, providing health care to millions of homeless Americans. Comic Relief 7 happens live from the Universal Amphitheater on November 11th, only on HBO. Join us as we bring down the house to help the homeless. Comic Relief, where there's laughter, there's hope.
And there's the man of the hour for the Milton homecoming game. Rob Schroeder, sophomore quarterback, did not start tonight, started the second half, and he scores the key touchdown. What was that, Carl? About a 16-yard run with 6:49 to play and puts his team up 12-10.
4th and goal at the 8. Schroeder went around the left end. Interestingly enough, right over the quarterback for Mifflinburg, number 16, Tom Dorman, and he scored the touchdown.
And you need a big return here. It's real key with Rothermel out of the game. Ball dies at the 20. Picked up. It's Gilbert to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, 40, still on his feet to the 45, and Mifflinburg got just what they needed.
Jim, you're prophetic. You're prophetic. That's exactly what Mifflinburg needed. That's what they got.
But nonetheless, Carl, Jamie Sowers is standing on that Mifflinburg bench right now, standing on the sideline, thinking, I wish I had Doug Rothermel in this game right now.
I noticed the Mifflinburg players are talking to the officials, and their attitudes don't seem to be too good. But I'll tell you what, these officials are not taking anything from a player tonight.
No, it's well officiated game.
I don't care if it's a Milton player. I don't care if it's a Mifflinburg player. They're not taking any prisoners from anybody.
Rusty Walls could become a big hero tonight for Mifflinburg. Where's number 39? He's the fullback. He gets the ball, and he gets to the 48 and no more. Gain of 3. Carl, I think this has been a very well officiated game tonight.
It has, no question. When the Milton players were causing a ruckus on this sideline about what they thought, as you see number 3, Ian Cuneo warming up his leg.
You think our director, Larry Zavataki, doesn't have an idea how this game's going to come down?
the Milton Black Panthers raised a ruckus earlier, and the referees hit them with 2 15-yard penalties. When Mifflinburg caused some problems, they did not hesitate. They threw 2 15-yarders on them.
2nd and 7, across the middle, low, he was hurried. Dorman incomplete, 3rd down and 7.
He actually saved number 2, there you see him. He saved number 2, Brad Gilbert, from being annihilated by number 34 for Milton, B.J. Robinault, because Robinault had Gilbert in his sights.
Carl, it's a passing down, but I think we're in 4, well, we're certainly in 4 down. I don't know if you are in 4 down territory. You may have to think, you're down 2. I forgot they were trailing.
No question in my mind, I would definitely go for it here.
Oh, no question. I temporarily forgot they were trailing. And that's that wishbone, right, Carl?
The wishbone look, but they're not wishbone plays.
And here comes Dorman throwing on 3rd and 7, intended and incomplete for number 2, Brad Gilbert. It's 4th down and 7, and they'll go for it. Carl, can you explain why that is not a wishbone?
It's not a wishbone because in a wishbone series, the quarterback rides the fullback into the hole. The fullback is the guy in the middle. Then he uses an option play to either side. They're not riding the fullback into the hole. That means they're not wishbone plays.
Carl, are they lining up to punt with 5:32 to go? This is a fake all the way, I'll tell you.
It's got to be a fake.
There's no question.
Milton offside.
It's no question. Oh my gosh, and it's kicked and caught.
All right.
I don't believe it. Loose ball recovered at midfield, still loose. It's in Milton territory. It may be a 1st down. It's close to the 1st down marker.
If Mifflinburg has the football, it's a 1st down Mifflinburg.
Milton says they have it, Carl.
1st down, Milton.
Carl, I don't believe it. Why do you punt with 5:32 to go? Jamie Sowers must have thought he had enough time to stop Milton defensively. And instead, it backfires. They get the punt deflected. I'm not sure who it was. It might have been Marshawn Mosley. Boy, the Milton fans like that.
You're looking at the Milton fans. They're enjoying this game. I guess that's why the head football coaches are what they are. They have to make the decision, and I don't envy them one bit. That is the hardest job around.
B.J. Robinault for 2 or 3 yards. Carl, you can't give up a 1st down, and the reason is you give up 3 more downs for Milton to run the ball and eat the clock up. And Mifflinburg has used at least 1 timeout, maybe 2 this half.
Mifflinburg back on their heels now. They've got to do something defensively. We're down in the 4.5-minute territory for the rest of this football game.
Clock is running, too.
And Milton's going to continue to run the football, I would think.
Absolutely. You got to keep running the clock. Pitch to B.J. Romanoff. Slips the tackle to midfield. And he stopped in Mifflinburg territory, short of the first down. It'll be third and about 2, maybe 3.
Solomonson, number 42, in that tackle. B.J. Romanoff. I said it before, I'll say it again. He's having the game of his life.
Carl, I'd call that about 3. Maybe a short 3.
Third and 3, and a very important play for both teams.
Ball at the 47-yard line of Mifflinburg, where the Black Panthers have it 3rd down and 3. And I don't think Fortunato has any choice on 4th and short. He'd have to punt, so they're going to have to get the first down here and not get it at all. Schroeder gives to Romanoff. He's going to be close to the first down. He's got it on the second effort.
Second effort is right.
Carl, he put his hand down on the ground to keep his knee from touching, and that's what enabled him to get that first down.
B.J. Romanoff. My, oh my. What a game.
So Milton now earns 3 more, possibly 4 more downs. Clock continues to run. 3:40 to go. That might have been the play of the game right there.
B.J. Romanoff's not even cracking a smile yet. He still knows there's work to be done.
Carl, we got to think about a player of the game. It won't be easy, but I think I've got my mind made for Rob Schroeder. B.J. Romanoff stopped at the line of scrimmage. Whistles blow. He's going to lose a yard, and that'll cost Milton a down.
It's getting to be a little bit rough out here. Every player out there, especially on the Milton Black Panthers side, has to be really, really careful because the Mifflinburg kids are going to start taking out some of their frustrations, I believe.
Carl, my player of the game is Rob Schroeder. He starts in the second half. Milton got, 6 points on a defensive turnover. They could not move the ball. They brought the sophomore in. He had been benched early in the season. The left-hander comes in, comes up with a key play on 4th and 7, runs 16 yards, gets into the end zone barely at the pylon. What do you think, Carl? Rob Schroeder, player of the game for Milton.
Let's look at it in another 3 minutes. More bad news for Mifflinburg. Number 39, Rusty Walls, has now gone out, nursing some kind of injury. They don't have any running backs left.
You know, that's the key, Carl. With Rothermel going out, he's a bigger loss on defense as an all-conference returning first-team CSC linebacker. Schroeder to Romanoff, line of scrimmage, hit again. Oh, the Mifflinburg defense is just supreme. Superb, supreme, use any adjective you want. The clock continues to run, 2.5 minutes to go. Now you wish you had some of those timeouts if you're Mifflinburg.
And there is a timeout. Mifflinburg calls the timeout. It's 3rd down and 10. We have 2 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the football game. The Milton Black Panthers up by 2 points, 12 to 10.
And keep in mind that Ian Cuneo would have, the Mifflinburg kicker now, would have to kick against a wind. And not only is this wind against them, but it is a crosswind that is moving from the near side, the Milton sideline, across to the Mifflinburg sideline. And so you have to account for that. And there's Max Schneider.
Max Schneider talking to the referees, asking how many timeouts do we have left? How many do they have left? He wants to know all that.
Marvelous football game, marvelous game. Credit to Mifflinburg, really gutsy game. Stopped a couple scores early in the game that Mifflinburg could have had, an interception, forced them to kick a field goal that Milton missed.
Well, if you remember what I said at the beginning of this game, I didn't think Mifflinburg had a chance. Right. Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about because they've played one whale of a game, and this game is not over yet. They can still win this football game.
I'd like to see him get the ball back so we can talk about Ian Cuneo's possible field goal range, how close they need to get. 3rd and 10. Play action fake. Now Schroeder stops, throws, incomplete, it's short, 4th down. 2:15 remaining, and it looks like Mifflinburg's going to get the ball.
Unfortunately, that had to be a pass play because it was 3rd and 10. But what this does is it gives Mifflinburg, in effect, another timeout. The clock is stopped.
Yeah, that is a very good point, Carl. That's an excellent point. Now, you know what they might do here on 4th and 10 is possibly take a delay of game. Well, the clock doesn't start till the ball snaps, so forget that. And Schneider to punt. Good block, gets it off. Goes to the right sideline, bounces at the 20, and dies at about the 18. So you're going to have 82 yards to go if you're Mifflinburg. And you've got 2:06 to do it.
If they can do that, if they can go 84 yards in 2 minutes and 6 seconds, it's as simple as this. They deserve to win this game.
Well,
but if the Milton Black Panthers defense is up to the task, as I think they will be, this game is out of reach.
Well, I don't know whether Rusty Walls will come back from Mifflinburg, but if he doesn't, even if he does, I think I'm throwing the ball here. And if you're Milton, you've got to be expecting the pass.
I don't see Rusty Walls there.
Mike Sowers.
Mike Sowers is back there, and he really is not sure what he's supposed to do. He was walking to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing his Dorman across the middle, has a man, complete. He's going to get the first down on the reception, not on the reception, but on the run. After the reception, it's Kurt Wirt. Fine game for Kurt Wirt at the 30-yard line.
First and 10, Mifflinburg.
They'll stop the clock long enough to move the chains. 1:54 remaining. Short passing game. Boy, I got to like that. You know, even Carl, if you just get 1 or 2 first down passes, then that'll open the defense up, and then you can slap a run at him. And without any timeouts, running the ball is almost out of the picture.
Trips to this right side.
There's a
play.
A costly 2-yard gain to keep the clock running.
That's it. It's costly not only in not getting much yardage, and it costs you a down, but also the clock continues to run.
Ball carrier was Solomonson. Carl, yeah, we're eating up another 20, 30 seconds just between the plays. 1:18. Second down and 7. Now, I think they ran that play just to try to keep the defense off balance a little bit, but cost them too much time. Dorman throwing long. He's got a man wide open, and it's overthrown, and there's nobody within 15 yards of Jamie Sowers. I mean, 15 yards.
Dave Fortunato is asking everybody who let him get by. You can't do that.
Where did he come from?
He was one of the trips, I believe.
Oh my gosh, Carl. Dorman simply overthrew him. I mean, that was the ball game right there. And Jamie Sowers Jr. is frustrated as he can be.
Timeout, Milton.
It's going to be third and 7.
Milton is taking a timeout. I don't understand why. Oh, Dave Fortunato wants to talk. Okay.
I'll tell you why, Carl. You want to go in that huddle and you want to say, what happened right there in that play? And you want to say, we're going to make an adjustment here and make sure that doesn't happen again. I think that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. 1 minute, 1 second remaining in a football game. Milton leads it by a scant 2 points.
I said heck, by the way. Oh, look at the screen. I did not realize it through our press booth box, but it is evidently raining out there, Carl.
Is it raining or is it snowing?
Oh, it's not that cold. It can't be.
According to our cameraman, it is snowing.
That's got to be
in
confetti.
Milton.
Oh my gosh! Tell Rick that that's confetti that's raining down. That can't be snow. It's not that cold.
I hope it's not snow. Oh my God! It's too early for that.
This is October the what? 28th?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! It's raining. That's got to be a rain. Rick's got to be pulling our leg down there. Rick Podlesny, our cameraman's on the sideline, so he's out in the elements. It's a mixed bag. Our director tells us. Mr. Zappo. All right, third down and 7, 1 minute to go. I can't believe that last play. Can't believe it. There goes Mike Sowers. Solomonson in the backfield. He'll throw. It's intended and caught it midfield. And brought down there. They'll stop the clocks to move the chains. 52 seconds to go. What a big play. Who is that receiver that made that catch?
Number 2.
Brad Gilbert.
Number 2, Brad Gilbert. Good reception, but a great pass. My, oh my, that thing was spreaded in there.
Okay, Carl. Excuse me, Carl, but we've got to talk about how close they need to get into Ian Cunio's field goal range. And
I would say anything inside the 40, they're going to give it a try.
Against the win, I think maybe the 20. Dorman, look at the time he has. And he throws long, and back there is Marshawn Mosley, picks it up at the 8-yard line. And the crowd goes wild. And he'll get to the 25-yard line, and this football game is O-V-E-R.
Number 84, Marshawn Mosley on the interception. First down, Milton Black Panthers.
Dorman simply overthrew the receiver. Mifflinburg has not been a passing team all year. Congratulations, Marshawn Mosley. And Carl, with 27 seconds to go, is there any objection to Rob Schroeder? There he comes on the field as a player of the game. I'm giving a strong vote to Rob Schroeder here.
Well, I think there's only one other person that I would vote for, and that's number 34, B.J. Ravenoff, because he was a cog in offense and defense for Milton tonight.
Well, I'm not going to take anything from B.J. You're absolutely right. There's a flag. 10 seconds to go, stops play. But Robinault came off the bench, Carl, in the second half. His team hadn't moved the ball. And on 4th and 7, he runs to the end zone and just gets in. Now, there's an unsportsmanlike conduct call.
Against the Mifflinburg bench. Max Schneider is over there jawing at the referee. And if he's not careful, he's going to have another 15-yarder, and he'll be gone from this field.
Milton's playoff hopes are alive, Carl.
Which doesn't make a great deal of difference because the game is over.
Milton will move to 6-3, 4-1, 2 seconds, 1 second. You are right, this game is over. Milton 6-3, 4-1. They can still win the big school division. Mifflinburg drops to 2-7, 0-5, a heartbreaking loss. And the Black Panthers will take on Montoursville next week in the final game of the regular season.
I'll tell you something. I would not want to be down on that field right now if I didn't have some equipment on because it's awfully rough. You can cut the tension with a knife between those two teams.
Carl, we have to decide on a player of the game.
It's got to be Schroeder. I'll go with you.
All right, I'm glad that. With an honorable mention to B.J. Robinault, but Rob Schroeder, outstanding. Well, our director, Larry Zavataki, tells us we've got to wrap up tonight. Our final score from Milton's Alumni Field. The Black Panthers homecoming win, 12-10 over Mifflinburg. Thank you so much for joining us here on CCN. It's been a wonderful ball game. For our director, Larry Zavataki, Jason George, Rick Podlesny, I'm Jim Pangburn, Carl Bauer saying good night, everybody. Once again, Milton 12, Mifflinburg 10.